beg you, don't embarrass me, mother. Hi, welcome back to another video. I am reporting live from yet another Target parking lot where I recount to you where my life is at any given moment. But usually it's on a seasonal basis at this point. Last time I checked in, it was spring. Right now, it's about to hit summer. It is summer. And so I'm here reporting live and updating you on my life because there is a lot to catch up on. Not really. But okay, so the last time I spoke to you guys, I was living in Riverside. I was living in the IE, living my hometown dreams. And it all came crumbling down when I realized that I just didn't want to live there. That's really the gist of it. Yeah, as I spoke about in my last video, moving back home was never really in the cards for me. It was mainly kind of a strategic move. The move back home was for me to catch up on life and get kind of a breather. And thankfully, I'm so grateful that I was able to do that somewhat at my sister's house. But moving back home and living with family wasn't really something that I had prepared myself for mentally, I guess. Not to say that it wasn't good. It just was incredibly different from my previous living situation, which was living alone. I hadn't lived with family since 2021. So it had been like 3 years or so. Yeah, just things look differently. A lot has changed. There's also like family things that I won't really get into, but basically I don't speak to one of my family members, one of my siblings, one of my family members, just because of personal reasons. And that kind of shook things up to why I don't live at my parents', because that person lives there. It's also why living back home and living in my hometown and living with family was also very different for me. I don't know. The last time I lived there, it was at least like, everyone got along. There weren't really any, just boundaries in place to where one person can't be in the same room as another, and that's kind of the way it is now. Oh, I think this guy's teaching his daughter how to drive. That is so sweet. So, I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure many of you who have the same kind of situation in your family or like a similar situation where one person, doesn't want to be around the other, can't be around the other, things like that. It just really like completely changes your life and your family dynamic and your relationship with each and every family member. And that's kind of what I didn't realize was going to be in play, this time around. I guess I like had it in my head, but I was like, how different can it really be? Come to find out, incredibly different and incredibly hard and incredibly painful. I think just being in closer proximity to like my family and I guess this traumatic experience of mine, this traumatic moment and memory and person, not traumatic person, but the person that this traumatic experience happened through, it just made living back home, living in my hometown, like incredibly difficult for me. I just had to like really face that conversation with myself, is like, what was I really looking for here? And if I was just looking for a break, then how long was that going to last? And I really wanted to take that break to apply for school, for grad school, which I did. And in the last video, I did mention that I was having my interview for grad school, and it actually went really well. It was so weird, so bizarre how all this has happened. All this has transpired because I literally made that video, put it out. I had my interview. It went so well to where me and the people who I was interviewing with all got accepted like right then and there. And then I got my official acceptance letter like a day or two after that. And it just was like, whoa, what? What the fuck is going on? Am I really going to grad school? Was the universe just waiting for me to like put it out into the universe? Probably. And that's just how life works and how funny things happen. I don't know. I just was really interesting that it happened that way. After I got accepted into school and I was like sure that I was gonna go, like what? I guess, I don't know. I knew that I was gonna apply and like see it out, but I was really curious to see how I was going to respond when and if I got accepted, you know, like was I really about it or was I all talk? Like, am I really gonna do it? And I just listened to like how my gut felt in that moment of getting that acceptance letter and the whole experience, and I just felt really excited. I felt like very aligned, very like in my purpose. It felt like such a yes to me, like in my bones, in my body, a full alignment all around. And that was, you know, enough information for me to know that I was going to go ahead and give it a shot, you know? So yeah, I just had my orientation last weekend actually, and I'm going to start officially in the fall. So that's crazy. That's wild. I'm going to be going back to school. I'm going to be a grad student. What? That is bizarre to me still. I graduated with my bachelor's in psychology in 2017. That is almost 7 years ago. That is 7 years ago. Oh my God. But honestly, this path makes the most sense for me in this point in my life. When I was straight out of my undergrad, I really was so uncertain and unsure and put off by the idea of getting my master's and becoming a therapist, you know, becoming like a counselor and all that. Like that just didn't feel like me. I didn't feel ready for it. I don't know. There was just so much I wanted to do. I was a baby. Like you're a baby coming out of undergrad, you know. I still feel like a baby at 28 years old. But I was a baby. I was 21. Like to make that decision, to make that choice just felt wrong in that moment. It's kind of weird how this has all happened now. I almost feel like I waited a little too long, but that's also like made up, you know, because time is a construct and like what timeline are you really on? It all just kind of happens when it's supposed to happen and when it makes sense for you. And I'm glad that I took the time that I did. I took those 7 years to really just, I don't want to say F around, but like play around in life, you know, experiment like with different careers, different opportunities. I'm really grateful because all of those experiences actually did lead me to this decision completely. Like working in marketing, working in social media, having a YouTube channel, doing all that made me realize that I did want to do something different or just more aligned, you know, like there was something always missing with what I was doing, what I was creating. You know, I wanted to offer more. I wanted to know more to offer more. You know, I wanted to actually educate people, and that's what I'm now like moving towards and stepping into. You know, also working in marketing, like I've just realized that I love creating. I love creating for the sake of creating. I hate creating for brands, for companies. And I think that has taken over our world, but that's another video. Oh my gosh, I don't even know what to say about that because there's so much I can say. But being behind that curtain of marketing and what the tactics really are for that and what marketing really entails and takes really just made it so clear to me that that's not what I wanted to do. And that was never the reason why I started creating videos in the first place. The main reason I created videos was to share my experience, my voice, my story, and relate, help, and connect with other people. Like that is and will always be my biggest dream, I guess, in life. My purpose really is to do that. What else is there? I'm starting school. I haven't officially started, but yeah, I'm going to probably share more on that when I do, because that'll be interesting. I know what to kind of expect, but I also don't, because I could never know what it's going to be like until I start. the crazy thing is too is that I am going to be juggling so many different things while being a student, you know. I guess not so many different things, but it's so different than undergrad. You know, undergrad, I was living with my parents. I was doing YouTube as a job, you know, and I was just being a student. This time around, I am living, by the way, I moved back to LA. Hello, I'm back. Of course, I couldn't be away for too long. What was I talking about before this too? Like about school? Okay, so yeah, I'll be living in LA. I'll be paying for rent. So fun, so great. While going to school full time and working part time, but you know, also trying to make as much money as I can. Because I will be taking out loans, baby. I will be taking out loans for the first time ever. I was actually reconsidering going to grad school just because of the loan situation, because of the financial part of it. I spoke to my therapist and I was like, I don't want to be in debt for the rest of my life. And she was like, if that is the only thing that is holding you back, there's going to be a lot of things that you don't experience or go for or do in life. So yeah, I'm going to be on the lookout for like scholarships and things like that and trying to figure out ways to like, you know, kind of support myself in all of these areas because it's going to be very different, you know. I presume that I will be making more life updates when school starts. Who knows? I might not. But I want to, you know, eventually because I want to share my experience throughout this. And if I didn't mention it before, I'm going to be getting my master's in clinical psychology. She's analyzing you, baby. Duh. Anyways, that is the first of many conversations that I want to have. But right now, that is the main update. I am back in LA. How annoying. I know. But also, if you are in LA or nearby, let's hang out. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And I will report back in another Target parking lot next time. Subscribe, like, comment, do all the things. Thank you for all of it. And yeah, see you in the next one. Love ya. Bye.